Hey folks! Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Old Biker Dude Show, Home Edition, where we make things here in the kitchen, right here at home, recipes that you can follow along with and do yourself at home. I'm going to be making another one-pan special again here tonight. Got some kids here and things like that, so I was going to make something that's a little kid-friendly. Speaking of kid-friendly, when I was a kid, my favorite dish was probably one of the hamburger helper specially. You know, I mean, I think we all probably have ate our share of hamburger helper coming up through the years, but the one thing I swore I was never going to do when I did reach a certain point in my life was I was never going to eat hamburger helper again. Anything you have to tear the package open to sprinkle the ingredients into is just not something you should be eating. There's too many preservatives in it. It's not healthy. It's processed food. It's just not good. But there are versions of all those hamburger helper meals that you can make from scratch right in your kitchen, and they don't take very long at all, probably about the same amount of time they would have taken. I'm going to be making creamy beef pasta with mushroom. It's basically got a cream cheese base with a little bit of a tomato twist. Looks a lot like, you know, the old-fashioned stroganoff, except for I'm going to use rotini noodles that are, you know, a little different. These are the colored ones that have that are made out of vegetables with the noodles, a little healthier. Of course, this is low sodium at 30 milligrams per serving, so I'm staying away from, you know, the high sodium stuff as usual. My tomato sauce will be no salt added, and of course I'm using beef stock that is unsalted. Now, you know, you can adjust your, you know, your ingredients if, you know, you have no need to worry about sodium and things like that, although I strongly suggest that, you know, everybody always keep a low sodium diet, because a lot of things we don't realize nowadays is how much sodium they pour in some of these products to keep them, you know, they're part of the preservative process. If you look at some of these cans, especially soups and things like that, vegetables off the shelf, if you look on the back, the amount of sodium in them is staggering. That's why I prefer to go with fresh, you know, and believe fresh is best whenever I can. But tonight's recipe is going to be really good, and I should make it in about 25 minutes. So, come on, here we go. Creamy beef pasta with mushroom, Old Biker Dude style. Okay, let's get started, because I got them in here screaming for dinner. Glad this is a quick meal. First thing I'm going to do is pop a pound of extra lean ground beef into my frying pan here. This is still partially frozen, but I'm just gonna fight it. And then the next thing I'm gonna do over here in my little wok is I'm gonna put a small onion diced up pretty good, a little red bell pepper, and about a half a pack of mushrooms, and I'm going to let those just kind of stir fry in there for a little while and soften up all my ingredients that'll end up in my pan. And with practically all of my 1 pound of ground beef recipes that I make, I'm going to add just a little bit of sausage to it to kind of spice things up a little bit. Don't worry about keeping track of all the ingredients here in the video. I'll have everything listed in the video description box with sort of a follow-along step instructions. And then, of course, a favorite of mine, whenever I'm kind of stir-frying vegetables for ingredients in anything that I'm making, I usually like to add just a little bit of this mirin. It's a sweet Japanese cooking seasoning, and I do that just to kind of enhance the flavor of the pepper and onion as it blends together in the recipe. And then my next thing is, while all this is cooking, is I'm going to boil 12 ounces of rotini, the kind of, like I said, that's made with the vegetable concentration, tomato, carrot, and spinach. I always like to try to use these flavored ones like that, as they're a little bit healthier than just the regular pasta. And then I'm going to, of course, boil that over here. But in the meantime, I went ahead and sliced up a 8-ounce block of cream cheese, and it's going to be sitting here at room temperature, so it'll be easier to melt into the recipe. I've got some Italian seasoning here, about 2 tablespoons. I've got 1 cup of mozzarella cheese. I've also got a cup of unsalted beef stock. And of course I had the little 8-ounce can of unsalted tomato sauce. And I'll be adding in about a couple tablespoons of garlic also. And I think I've covered everything. Of course there'll be, a little pepper, and then of course salt if you prefer. And you can also add flavored tomatoes, or flavored tomato sauce. The kids really go for these beef and noodle recipes. They love this stuff. And I like this too, but it's just an example of one of those easy to fix, sort of 20 to 25 minute prep meals. But here we go, we're gonna finish it up. Okay, I got my noodles on back here. I think they go about, I set my timer for 13 minutes, but that way that ought to give me just enough time to have these veggies nice and soft to go into the recipe. And I'm browning my ground beef and sausage right over here. Okay, my meat's browned up. While I'm sitting here waiting on my noodles, I turned it down a little bit. I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of garlic to it. I don't put that in there while it's cooking because I don't want it to scorch my garlic. I want my garlic to remain nice and, nice and firm as it's cooking. It's going to get heated and mix in with everything, but I just want that fragrance in the sauce. And then while I'm waiting, I'm going to go ahead and pour in my tomato sauce. I'm going to add a cup of unsalted beef stock. And I'm going to add my cream cheese, but not quite yet. And then of course I'm going to add my veggies and slowly return all this to a sort of a slow simmering boil. And then I'll add all my cheeses, which is mozzarella cheese and my cream cheese and my noodles over there. But not before I add my Italian spices and thyme. There's about 2.5 tablespoons of the mix here that's going in this. Pretty influential, yes. Oops, almost forgot. Gotta add a little pepper. There we go. And then of course, while I'm waiting on my noodles to get done over there, which they look like they're about there, I just continually stir my beef mixture here, and we're fixing to add our cheeses. And that's what we've done here is our little miniature blocks of cream cheese that I sliced up. Put that in there. The heat will start making that break down here in a minute. And then I'll add my mozzarella also. And once the cream cheese is sort of broke down and incorporated into it, you notice I'm still at a very, very slow simmer. I mean, you can barely see any of the bubbling. I don't like to get my stuff too hot right now because I don't want to scorch this cheese. I'm going to get everything to mix, and I've got enough temperature to make everything mix. But I just don't like to hard boil my recipes, my one-pan recipes, right toward the end. But that's looking real good. The mushrooms in there with the mixed color of the cream cheese and tomato sauce with all the Italian seasoning. That's going real good. So now I'm going to add my mozzarella cheese, which is going to help kind of thicken this up a little bit and turn it into our finished product. I've already drained my noodles over here. So there they go, and now they're a part of it all. Good thing I used the big pan, huh? I've made this enough times that I knew that it wasn't going to overflow. But it is a pretty good batch. And now we just mix everything up until it's all covered and coated. and we'll have dinner. And there we go, all mixed together. Got everything, got a nice creamy sauce base there. And this looks like it'll go real well. Guess I'll take me a little taste of this. Oh yeah, that's really good. I believe everybody will take this tonight. Folks, I sure appreciate you following along. If you would take a minute and like and subscribe, ring that little notification bell so you get notified when I've got upcoming videos come on. And like I said, I appreciate you watching the videos and kind of following along with the recipes and things here during the off season for motorcycle travel. I gotta figure out how to put some content out there. But I do appreciate y'all watching, and thanks y'all. See you next time. I'm an old biker dude, man.